I'm your host, James Yoder, with the Michigan Football Report. We're going to talk a little bit Big Ten realignment and some big recruiting news. But before we jump into the show, I want to ask you, watch for the first 5-6 minutes of today's show, and if you like what you see, go ahead and share today's video on social media, Twitter, Facebook, or text it to a friend. We're trying to, up the numbers in these slow summer months, and that starts with you, the audience, sharing it with your friends on text and also social media. So hit that little share icon beneath the video, click whichever you prefer, Facebook, Twitter, WhatsApp, text message. See if we can get, let's say 30-plus shares today, set a record for this show over the past couple months. All right, we're going to talk recruiting. We're going to talk the Big Ten, the future of the Big Ten, all coming up right now. The Michigan Football Report is presented by Aura All-in-One Digital Safety. You got a great offer coming up for you a little bit later in the show, a 14-day free trial that you won't want to miss out on. All right, we are going to talk about some big-time quarterback recruiting rumors coming up on today's show. And that was actually where I planned to start today's show, but another story and a little inside info came across my desk just here in the last hour that I wanted to start talking about with you guys here today on a Tuesday after a glorious Memorial Day weekend. So my top story, rumors on the future of the Big Ten. I'm going to dive into those rumors here in just a second, but I want to ask you guys a quick question before we jump into those rumors. Are you already subscribed to us here, the Michigan Football Report on YouTube? If you've already subscribed, before you start watching today, go ahead and type me. The show averages about 55% of our audience has previously subscribed before a show. It's been pretty steady over the last year or so. So if you've already subscribed before today, go and type me. And if you don't type me, I might just ban you from the show because I've been telling you guys, we almost went private a couple weeks ago. Didn't because of some bureaucracy. But go ahead and type me. If you don't type me, though, hey, this might be the last time you ever watch. Probably not, but we'll see. All right, Big Ten division realignment. There is a lot of rumors that have been kind of percolating around the internet for the past 10-plus days based on some other things. The Pac-12 is kind of realigning how they're going to do things in the future. Obviously, the Big 12 never has really had divisions themselves, but something came across that I wanted to type on. You see that at the bottom of the screen, Big Ten teams, Big Ten schools, all of them, all 14 schools in the last week or so have removed future conference schedules from their website. You go to Michigan's website, mgoblue.com, go to football. This is what you see. The Big Ten Conference is currently readjusting future schedules. This page will be updated with solidified conference schedules once they are finalized by the Big Ten. So what does that mean as we think about why would they take down schedules? Why would they all put that at the same time? Seems a little fishy. So the rumors are that the Big Ten is considering eliminating divisions, right? Removing the East, removing the West, have all 14 teams kind of play a rotating schedule with a couple built-in games that you play on an annual basis and never go a year, 2, 4, 5 years without playing like Michigan has in the past with other schools in the conference. And you go to the SEC, et cetera. Texas A&M has been in the SEC for 7-8 years. I think they don't play at Florida until 2029 or something like that. They'll go 14 years before they play at the Florida Gators. So that is one rumor that is out there that I want to make sure you guys are up to date on, make sure this doesn't catch anybody off guard. Another one, all right, and I don't think it's one or the other. This is what people are talking about. People who are well-connected are speculating on the Big Ten is considering right now. It's eliminating the Big Ten West, or right there, that one, go ahead and toss across the Big Ten. I'm sorry, we have it on there, is Michigan State switching over to kind of balance the divisions a little bit more, right? Michigan State, one of 3 Big Ten teams to make the college football playoff since 2014, since the college football playoff era. And the Big Ten East is a little top-heavy and probably on any given year is considered much more competitive with Ohio State, Michigan State, and Penn State. If all those teams are having very good years, you've got potentially 4 out of the top 15-plus teams in the country, like you had for a lot of the period in the 2021 season. Michigan State could flip over, and who knows, Purdue or something like that could come over to the Big Ten East. So it's one to keep an eye on. I don't think this is one that's going to last for months on end into the season. I think if something changes, which it potentially could, which it seems like it's trending that way. We will find out here in the next month or two, maybe as late as the Big Ten Media Day is coming up in late July. So we'll find out what is coming up there when they make an official announcement. But I want to ask you guys this question. Should Michigan and Michigan State be a protected annual game if, this is if, I guess either thing happens, right? If there's no divisions, then Michigan, Ohio State, of course, would. But then does Michigan have a second one, or should they have a protected cross-division game where Michigan would always play Michigan State even if they went over to the West? That doesn't exist right now. Michigan's got a rivalry with Minnesota, but they go years without playing Minnesota. I think yes, but I also think Michigan is perpetually at a disadvantage. When it was Leaders and Legends division, Michigan had to have the crossover with Ohio State. And that put them at a disadvantage because they had to play the best team from the other conference, and the records to decide who made the Big Ten championship game always came down to just general conference record. They never just said, oh, it's in division only. So go ahead and type Y for yes, N for no. I'll type yes, but I just hope Michigan isn't put at any sort of disadvantage if they get Michigan State, and let's say Ohio State is a protected game with, who knows, I don't know, Purdue or something like that. So we will see what happens there. But I want to make sure you guys are all up on that story as things change here in the coming days, weeks, or months. All right, we are going to talk Michigan football recruiting now. Michigan football recruiting is heating up. June 1st is tomorrow. They could start having official visits now over the summer, and they've got a ton of guys coming in over the next 4 or 5 weekends. Before we do, I want to tell you about today's sponsor, the sponsor of our video, Aura, your digital security solution. I've been using Aura for about 3 weeks right now. Helps me with financial fraud protection. I get notified of suspicious activity. My online activity is secured, and I can access my credit report without having to pay any additional money right by popping on the Aura app or the Aura website. I've also set spending limits, so if some fraudsters steal my credit card number, trying to rack up thousands of dollars, or if any of the people in the Yoder household go over the negotiated amount that we're going to spend as a family every month, get going with your free trial of Aura. I'm using it every time I pull up the app. I got 9 notifications now here on the Aura app talking about potential spending habits that they may flag that is not normal or not inside my normal spending habits. And it takes all of the accounts that I give them access to and tells me if any of my passwords have been compromised across the internet. It's a great tool. Stay safe online. Aura.com/chatsports. That link is down in the comments and the description of the video. Use the link and get 14 days free trial. You'll love the product. You'll keep it past the 14 days like I have. All in one digital security for the family. Go ahead and get Aura. Aura.com/chatsports. Talking recruiting with Dante Moore, the best player in the state of Michigan for the 2023 class, now up to the number 5 overall player in this class, regardless of position. When we looked last, he was number 8. Now he is number 5, number 3 quarterback. So they're kind of stacking the quarterbacks at the top of the 24/7 composite that brings in all the different recruiting services and combines them for one single score. Now, a Notre Dame insider named Tom Loy, he put out an article today saying that, according to his sources that have talked to those close to Moore, Notre Dame is still the favorite for Moore, the number 1 player in the state of Michigan, number 5 player in the country. But Michigan's not even number 2 or number 3. He's got Michigan at number 4, LSU 5, Notre Dame, Oregon, and Miami are leading the way, according to Tom Loy, who's broken a bunch of stories. He's actually the guy who put out the story that Michigan was stealing a coach, Mike Elston, from Notre Dame back in, January, coming over as Michigan's defensive line coach and then recruiting coordinator. So he clearly has some sort of information. I hope he's wrong. I hope the sources he's talking to are kind of blowing some smoke the Notre Dame way, but we'll see what happens. Dante Moore has a ton of things coming up. I'm going to talk to you about his next visit in a second. But my take on this, given what we told you in our video last week, is I would love to see J.J. McCarthy get involved in this recruitment, right? He has shown that he can make, even as a backup quarterback, make hundreds of thousands of dollars in name, image, and likeness money. He's bringing his teammates out to his camp last week, giving them some NIL money. He's actually going up and doing a golf tournament for NIL money here coming up this summer as well. So J.J. McCarthy can kind of show him the path. Hey, I came to Michigan. I sat for a year or 2 years. Nothing's promised. But I was such a big star in the Midwest that I used my name, image, and likeness to make myself money, and everyone was clamoring for me to get in the game, to be the starting quarterback, etc. It didn't hold me back from making additional money. We've heard for a long time Moore's interest in whatever school he goes to may come down to who can give him the most NIL money, which brings me to this story. If you haven't seen it yet, he will actually take a visit in 2.5 weeks down to Texas A&M, the sleaziest school in the country for NIL, just paying guys hand over foot, which I guess is the way things are doing right now. I have 3 guys in a 4-house radius of my street that are Texas A&M grads, in the 35 to 45-year-old range. None of them have even heard of Dante Moore. So Dante Moore, don't go to Texas A&M because they don't offer you anything other than name, image, and likeness money. And if you go to a school that puts you in the NFL, NIL money is going to mean nothing to you in the long term. If you go to the NFL, hell, even get that rookie contract as a potential first or second rounder, that's much more than any NIL money. Especially if you come to Michigan, you'll be guaranteed a first-round pick, probably, and you'll be making $50 million a year before too long. I asked you guys at the top of the show, if you like today's show, please hit that little share icon beneath the video on YouTube. It's beneath it if you're watching on your iPhone, your Android. Click it, share it to Twitter, share it to Facebook, share it to a friend who's a Michigan football fan via text. Just be like, hey, check out the Michigan Football Report. Subscribe if you haven't yet. You'll like Yoder. But by the way, don't do it if you don't like the show. I don't want any negative sharing out there because that's just bad karma. Another 5-star quarterback. Obviously, Dante Moore is 2023. CJ Carr, 2024, but he is a 5-star, but he is not the top quarterback in that class. Some people look to say the Ohio State commit from a couple weeks ago might be the best quarterback in 2024. I actually think it's this guy, Jadyn Davis. He attended Steve Clarkson's annual QB retreat in Santa Monica over the weekend, was without question the best quarterback there of the 2023 and 2024 guys who were there. Plenty of 5-stars. The Ohio State 5-star in 2024 was there. CJ Carr, Dante Moore didn't make the trip. A lot of college quarterbacks, including Coleridge Stroud, was out there in 85, 90-degree weather in Southern California wearing long-sleeve shirts. I think he is still having his post-traumatic stress disorder from the snow in Ann Arbor. But Jadyn Davis is an interesting one to keep an eye out because if Dante Moore goes elsewhere, and if CJ Carr says, hey, I want to get away from Michigan, my grandpa, my dad, I want to go try my hand playing for Notre Dame or Wisconsin, then Jadyn Davis becomes the J.J. McCarthy of the 2024 class, a guy that Michigan can lock in early and potentially build a big-time class on. He's going to be visiting Michigan Sunday, one-day camp after he already visits Clemson, Alabama, and LSU. So he's going all over the country in just this 1 week after being out in Santa Monica in Southern California last week. Here's this quote on Michigan, though, from the Steve Clarkson quarterback camp. I really like Michigan a lot. I feel like they run one of the few offenses that translates well to the NFL. That's debatable. That's obviously the goal for me, so I definitely have interest in Michigan, and I feel I fit in well there. Michigan has a chance to impress him this week, right? Get some quarterback training from Matt Weiss. Hear about how the offense will look like in the future with potentially J.J. McCarthy when he's, when Davis is a senior in high school coming in. Maybe McCarthy stays for 4 years. He learns under him. We will see, but that's one to keep an eye on. If Dante Moore does not go to Michigan, if he commits somewhere else, I think Davis and, of course, CJ Carr will be the top prospects Michigan going after in the 2024 class. See what happens in 2023 if they don't get more their top target. So I haven't done a ton of recruiting videos over the years, but I've seen enough people in the comments and on other social media saying, hey, more recruiting, more recruiting. So I want to get some content feedback from you guys, right? Would you be interested in a one time a week? And if we did it, we try to make it the same day every week. Let's say it's our Wednesday recruiting video, a recruiting only video. Type 1 down in the comments if yes, you want a weekly recruiting segment. Type 2 if no. Say, hey, James, if recruiting's out there, we'll take it. But if not, you don't have to force it. I want to hear from you guys. I'm going to give the people what they want. So go down and type 1 or type 2. You might be watching this on Wednesday. We're putting out here later in the day on Tuesday. June 1st, Wednesday, is a big recruiting month for the University of Michigan. Official visits start. Michigan is planning, like they have in past summers, right? Summer of 2020, summer 2021. You can follow the historical plan that Michigan's put in place. June and July have been huge months for commitments, and nothing really changes this year. They have got, starting this weekend, a couple of big-time prospects who I think they could get commits from coming in upcoming on Friday through Sunday. 4-star cornerback Daniel Harris out of Miami, right, out of South Florida, visiting this weekend. Also out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana, Jordan Matthews, both taking official visits, both top 300 players in this class with 4-star cornerbacks. Now, Michigan's class is struggling, folks. number 25 in the 2023 recruiting rankings. We've seen this in the past. Michigan's had hot starts, but they've also had plenty of slow starts, and they've made it up as things go along. I don't think this class is really going to start taking off until they get these official visits on campus and until potentially they get a yes or a no from Dante Moore, so some skill position guys can maybe tack on to his commitment, can make a little party pack of quarterbacks, offensive linemen, receivers. We'll see what happens there. But it all gets started this weekend. A couple official visits that you need to know about. 2 4-star cornerbacks are visiting, and I think there's a chance Michigan can get a commitment out of at least one of them. Whether or not this weekend or not, I couldn't say, but there's one of these guys that seems to be trending very nicely towards Michigan. One more I want to talk about, 2024 Texas commit Aaron Hampton is a quarterback. He has put out the word today that he will visit Michigan soon. Has been committed to Texas for a little while. The number 69 player, nice, in the 2024 class. He's listed as an athlete, but he is going to play cornerback. He will be in Ann Arbor on an unofficial visit, given that he just finished up his sophomore year. And he didn't give an exact date from what I saw, but I don't believe it'll be this weekend. Keep an eye out for that weekend of the 16th, 17th. About 2 weekends from this one is when he is expected to be there at Michigan. So we'll keep updating on recruiting. Let me know, as I said a couple moments ago, on whether you want more recruiting content, type 1 or 2. And if you made it to this part of the end of this far in the video, right? The end of the video squad. I just want to tell you guys, love the end of the video squad. All the 100 people or so that typed squad in the video a couple weeks ago. You guys, the real ones. Love ya. And I've got a little ask for you guys. If you haven't seen my post-spring practice depth charts, I'm going to, just here in a moment, you'll see the YouTube end screen. 2 videos will pop up, one on each side, a little Chat Sports logo, or a little Michigan Football Report logo. I'll put my offensive post-spring depth chart, my defensive post-spring depth chart. If you haven't, and you're seen it yet, you're part of the end of the video squad, means you've kind of made it all the way. We're at 15 minutes in or so. 16 and a half minutes in, you've given us a big portion of the day. Give me even more of your day by watching one of these videos. You'll be more informed, and I'll have another view of the video, which I guess we both win in that scenario. All right, we'll be back tomorrow with a Michigan football mailbag. Until then, go Blue.